Hello, this is Dennis Herman from Easy One Realty. In this video, we're going to be discussing real estate investing with local private funds. A lot of people refer to this as hard money. Well, it seems that if there's a way to make money on the internet, people are going to find a way to jump all over it. Funding real estate investment purchases seems to be no exception. Right now, the internet seems to be filled with all kinds of schemes to park people with their money, and we have to watch out for these. I've been involved in a number of transactions using local hard money funds, or I should say, attempting to use. Well, with local hard money funds, I've actually closed, but from the internet, haven't even come close to closing a single deal. To protect the innocent, I want to go through a brief rundown on typical transactions involving internet funds and what to look out for. Number one, first thing you want to watch out for is take a look at the lender's email. And is it from a registered domain, or are they sending you an email with a Yahoo account? Okay. It should be a hint. What kind of businesses use email accounts? I mean, do you think asset companies that are renting entire buildings, clear up to the sky, are using a Yahoo account? Do you think any legitimate business is using Yahoo accounts? I mean, there's a few of them, but chances are it's time to start looking. Time to start digging a little deeper. The second thing to look for is their email signature. It doesn't take more than a half hour to set up an email signature on an email account. I mean, even with a Yahoo account, you can go in there and get a simple, signature. There's a couple of things these email signatures should have on them right away, and if they don't have them, it's a sign to really watch out. Number one, they should have the name. They should have the phone number. They should possibly have the website. They should have a website. I mean, most people that are into this type of stuff do have a website. If they lack any of this information, like I said, it's time to start digging deeper. Don't be afraid to ask for some type of credentials. Check the state to see if the business is registered. When in doubt, consult a real estate attorney. So much for precautions. I prefer the term local private funds because that's what I like to deal with. These are private investors who already made a whole lot of money out of buying and selling real estate, and what they want to do is they want to find an easier way of making a living. Like I said, these investors, if they're buying, they're putting a whole lot of time and a whole lot of money into properties, and they're walking away with, sometimes $10,000, sometimes $20,000 a property. It all depends. But, if they can borrow the money to you and let you do all the work, and they take a nominal profit, let's just throw out a figure here, $4,000 or $5,000. Would you be happy with that? A lot of these investors that I'm working with, they might own from 50 to 200 properties at a time. They made their fortune in real estate, and they know the local market. They purchased properties in probably every corner of the city, and they've made money, they've lost money, they know where to invest, they know where to stay out of, they know where to get started, they know how to get started, they know all of this information. So take advantage of dealing with this information by dealing with a local investor that's willing to put up his money. His success actually is in your hands. So he's going to do everything he can to make you a success. I mean, think of it the other way. Would you loan money to an unqualified individual ready to invest in an area that you've already lost money in and you wouldn't stick money into? So you're not only receiving local funds, but you're receiving local advice from a seasoned professional. If the loan is too risky and the investor decides to back out, it's probably a blessing. It's time for you to take a look at it and really analyze the situation for what it is. Terms, fees, and conditions may vary based on the individual investor. I work with a local licensed lender who puts together packages. And what he does is he matches the investor with the buyer, the lender with the buyer. Loans are usually short-term. They're from 6 to 12 months, and then they have renewal fees. I refer to them as renewal penalties. And they're not for the pie-in-the-sky buyer/investor. Who wants to wait until the market decides to change so that they can get the price they want to get for it. The key is to buy the property, get in it, get it fixed up, get it back on the market, and get it sold in record time. You know, you can't be waiting and wait 3 months before you do your first price reduction. This is what I like about the investor I work with, the loan officer I work with. If he doesn't see action on this thing, he calls me up and says, "Hey, what's the problem?" Well, okay, I sent him these market reports, and I showed him that the market price in that particular area is at 125, and he's still sitting at 150. You know, I can't force a buyer to spend $25,000 more than the market price. And he calls him up and he tells him the same thing. So now they're hearing it from two voices. You can watch my other video on local real estate investing. You get a little bit more information on that. Okay, using local private funds may be a great way to get into real estate investing, but success is entirely up to the individual. If you are organized, if you have an emergency supply of funds, if you know the local market, you got a team of professionals that are going to be able to get in there, get the job done, and get it done on budget and on time, success can be yours. Always look at profit in realistic terms, realizing the fact that you do have competition at every turn. People will try to outbid you in a purchase. People will try to undersell you when you're trying to sell it as a listing, and you have to really know these statistics and really know this market. So you got to spend a little bit of time in front of the computer in the local market, a 4-block radius of where you're operating in at the present time. But when you use local funds, you still have that seasoned investor in your corner, and he's willing to give you advice, and he's willing to help you succeed. When you're first starting out, you want them to look at you as a reliable source of income. In other words, you're going to buy these, you're going to sell it, you're going to take your little bit of a profit, and they're going to take their profit. But always keep in mind that the local money lenders rely on the success of your business. I want to close with a few precautions to follow if you decide to try internet investing. Beware of high upfront fees. Never give money without knowing exactly what you're going to receive in return. If it has an application fee, shouldn't you have an application before sending money? I've also noticed a pattern with internet lenders to watch out for. I've seen them collecting appraisal fees. Every local lender I've worked with has provided a copy of the appraisal to the buyer. Internet lenders seem to be the exception. They seem to have problems providing a copy of an appraisal. Whether or not they get these appraisals, how does anyone know, unless they get a copy of it? It's your appraisal, you paid for it, you deserve to have it. So watch out for that. Because of, they have fees that aren't clearly explained at the very beginning, and they seem to add fees on as they go along. don't let this surprise you. My guess is they probably have it scripted where they got this whole list of fees, and they'll just go right down the line and think of one excuse after another excuse. They already got everything all written out and scripted. I mean, they're ready to do business, you know. And the thing about it is, are you ready to do business? If they have trouble answering their phone, get rid of them. You know, I mean, if they can't return a phone call and return messages, it's time to find a reliable lender, because you don't want them hesitating and causing delays, especially with buying an REO property. It's going to cost you $100 a day for every day you close late. And don't hesitate to contact an attorney if things start to look strange, or if you don't understand anything in the contract. It's always best. If these people are looking for fees, think of your attorney. A couple $100 as an investment that he can look over, and remember, everything is negotiable. I mean, the more you have your system put together, the more you can negotiate. Once again, this is Dennis Herman from Easy One Realty. You got a question, give me a call. Cell phone number is 414-426-1784. You can check my website. It's easyonerealty.net. E as in Edward, Z as in zebra, the number 1, realty.net. It'll be on the screen after this. And happy house hunting, happy investing. Hope you make a whole lot of money, and hope to hear your success story. Have any questions? Give me a call.